At the end of the day in business, what do we know? Profit doesn't lie. And actually, profit is one of the most important parts because it's driven by great revenue, but it's also driven by managing your expenses. But you know what? It's actually driven by pricing your products and services correctly. And what we've got to realize is that margin now more than ever before is one of the most important pursuits inside of any business. And one of the great challenges is that ultimately we've got agents over here who take their fee for what it is that they do. And actually we've got the business owner over here that actually provides a ton of services, takes all the risk, provides a whole heap of infrastructure to actually make sure that ultimately these people can be performing at their absolute best. Now more than ever before, it's time to really have a pricing discussion inside of your personal real estate office around what you actually do to go and price your service. Now, if you have a quick look at it, pricing of services is an interesting conversation. How can you do it? Well, the first way that you could look at pricing is we're going to look at cost plus pricing. What does it cost us to provide that particular good or service? And how do we then add a margin on top of that? Maybe a profit margin, maybe a negotiation margin, and maybe a location margin to ultimately get to that final price point. The secondary thing that we can do is we can shift the game. Now we can have a look at competitor pricing. So what do people charge in the marketplace? And how do we charge just under that or at that or slightly above that? The next thing that you can do is you can go to surge pricing, which was taught to us by Uber. Ultimately, sorry guys, I got a lot of demand. I'm 6% right now if you want me to sell your house. Actually, I don't have much on. Now I'm 1%. And that's ultimately a really interesting conversation. Then the fourth way that we can actually go to do pricing is actually go to what we go to call value-based pricing. How can we demonstrate value for what it is that we do with customers? And this is actually my favorite formula for determining the pricing of your services in any marketplace. And it's really about understanding the jobs to be done. So what do we need to do before? What do we need to do during? And what do we need to do post the transaction to significantly lift our value in what it is that we really do for sellers and landlords in this marketplace? Hey guys, you know the basic thing that we do? We actually just get your mail redirected at that day of settlement so that all of your mail turns up at exactly the right place. It's the least that we could do. Hey, by the way, for the buyer, we send a handyman around after a week who comes and fixes that squeaky gate to actually make that home feel like it's a beautiful place to live in. And ultimately, what you've got to start doing is you've got to start really analyzing what do we got to do over here at the beginning? The styling, the painting, the reorganization, getting everything right for that property. What are we doing whilst it's on the market? Sending flowers or sending a cleaner to make sure that property is looking perfect before that open for inspection on Saturday? And that's what great agency is all about. You got to charge what you're worth and you've got to be worth what you charge. And the secret to greater profits is driving the margin by driving the pricing of your services. Get clear about who you are, understand what you do in the marketplace, and make sure that you present incredible value to your sellers in everything that you do.